Hello everyone, NW Order for Life here with Akame Ga Kill episode 20 review. Let's get this out of the way right now. This episode is mostly filler, but there's canon at the end with Tatsumi being captured and, having the flyers put out of his betrayal and his execution. So, the episode basically has Night Raid members taking different positions, getting ready for the impending invasion of the capital. And Tatsumi and Lubbock are doing reconnaissance, or rather infiltration, I should say, because Tatsumi can turn invisible and Lubbock can use, well, according to Lubbock, he's a master of espionage. And Mine and Leone are in the sewers, walking around, like looking for alternate routes or something to sneak in. And yeah, so Mine and Leone talk about Tatsumi a bit, and Leone basically brings it up that they're looking close, and that she might steal Tatsumi from Mine, and Mine denies everything until she says that, and they have that moment there where Mine clearly again reinforces that she likes Tatsumi, and then Tatsumi and Lubbock have a similar moment where Lubbock brings up Mine and how they're getting close, her and Tatsumi, and Tatsumi kind of denies it, and then this revolutionary spy girl, whatever, meets them and leads them to like a back entrance to the capital or something along that effect, where like it's like in the inner courtyards or something, and supposedly the resistance that is within the capital itself, like that live in the capital, part of the nobles or whatever, they're held up in this like spot, and she was going to bring them, and she knocks on the door, and there's no knock back, and Tatsumi and Lubbock open the door, and they see everybody inside who is resistance is dead, and then Shura shows up. And well, before I get further into this, Shura, in the beginning of the episode, Shura shows up. He's introduced by his father, the minister, and the general. God, I forget his name. Is it Budou? I forgot his name. But he, the general, he's basically, the guy who's in par with Esdeath. He's saying that he doesn't want any rats sneaking into the palace, so he's going to go check for rats. And he's questioning how the politics are going, but he says no matter what, he's going to serve the empire, and his family has served the empire for hundreds of generations or whatever he said. And that was pretty much it. And Shura is introduced, and the minister says, "My son Shura will take care of it. We'll take care of Night Raid. Don't worry about it." And we also saw that the Jaegers, specifically Kurome, Run, and Wave, are pretty much the only Jaegers left. They're by themselves, and they're just like eating a meal and upset that they can't do anything. And then Kurome passes out from, like, while she's eating, she just drops the plate, passes out. So back to Tatsumi and Lubbock versus Shura. Shura kind of goads Tatsumi into attacking him, and instead the lightning general, I'm gonna call him Budou, I think that's his name. He appears, and he's like, "Oh, so rats have snuck in. I'll take care of these rats." And Tatsumi ends up fighting with the general, and Lubbock ends up fighting with Shura. And Tatsumi was able to dodge Budou's attack, but it still sent him back flying. So he puts on Incursio and tries again and keeps going at him, but it's not successful. And Tatsumi ends up getting, like, I guess, electrified by Budou's power. And Budou kind of makes the point to note that Tatsumi's sword is honest, and like he's very like straightforward, and like he's kind of like analyzing Tatsumi by the way Tatsumi fights. He asks for his name, so, and even the name itself kind of sounds earnest, and like but he's like, "I don't care what my feelings tell me, like as long as you oppose the capital, like you have to be destroyed or you're my enemy." And he takes out Tatsumi with some kind of move where he just like kind of like bunches himself up DBZ style, electrifies himself, and Tatsumi got hit with it, and that was it. And meanwhile, Lubbock, as he's fighting Shura, I don't know if it's Surya or Shura, but I'll just say Shura. But the teleport thing, Shura's got this Imperial arms that teleports, which we saw when he teleported Esdeath and Tatsumi back in the island, and he mentions that. That's how he kind of goaded Tatsumi into that attack before. Um, he's teleporting everywhere. He tells Lubbock that he's got spots all over the capital marked, like in the entire area. So, and not just on the ground, but in the air too. So no matter where Lubbock runs, he can't do nothing. So as Lubbock is running, he's setting up strings, and at one point, the girl is holding him. The girl betrays Lubbock and says that if she doesn't hold him and have him get killed, then like her family's gonna die or something, her father and sister or whatever it is. And so Shura goes in for Shura calls her like a toy or something, and Shura kills her or hurts her to the point where she should be dead, but she's not, and she falls on the ground. And after that, and Lubbock gets pissed off because Shura says she's a toy, and he didn't want nobody interfering in his business with Lubbock fighting. And so Shura gets Lubbock pissed off, and Lubbock is like, "That's it, you're already dead. There is no more." And Shura's arm just gets severed by a string, and you see that the entire area has strings set up from Lubbock when he was running around. He set up a string barrier, and basically Lubbock had the match won. The Imperial arm was on the floor. Lubbock picked it up. He had the strings all around Shura. He was ready to kill him. And the girl gets up with her last, ounce of life. And she takes a knife and she stabs Lubbock in the back. It's so tragic because Lubbock is, he's always got bad luck with girls, I guess you could say. And it's kind of ironic, but sad, Lubbock falls for a second to his knees. The girl immediately dies after that, after saying, "Please, Lord Shura, make sure, please consider this, when you think about sparing my father and my sister, And then she just dies, and he laughs maniacally and says, "Ha ha ha, they were dead to begin with. There was never a chance, but the girl is dead. She's not hearing this." And Lubbock is injured, and Shura picks up his Imperial arm with his other hand, Shambhala. He uses his ultimate technique, which brings Lubbock into within dimensions. I guess it's like the dimension within the dimensions, like when you cross through the portal, like this other world or something. And Lubbock, as amazing as he is, had attached a couple pieces of string to Shura's arm, where Shura's arm got cut off. So when Shura's hand got sliced off, he put string inside of it, and it was pretty impressive. And he pulls Shura with him into the dimensional teleport vortex thing, and uses his spear of string and crushes Shura's heart, just like he did with that other Rakasha demon. And Shura dies, and Lubbock falls outside of the barrier. The Imperial arm deactivates. He plummets all the way down and falls onto a bunch of spears in the capital somewhere. So, and he, upset, he's thinking about an agenda as he's falling. So that was really sad. And but Lubba went out as a badass. Filler. The fight may have been filler, but it was really good. Lubba went out as a badass in this filler, and he went out as a badass in the manga. So I would definitely advise you to look at the manga to see how awesome Lubbock went out in that. But yeah, and then Esdeath was away on a mission, killing revolutionary soldiers, I guess, and freezing them, whatever. And she came back, and Budou has Tatsumi, imprisoned, and the minister is talking about how they have to do horrible things to him. And Esdeath says, "Leave that to me. I'll take care of it." And then she thinks to herself, "I won't let Tatsumi have anyone." So that's the end of the episode. And and Mine and Agenda see the wanted posters of Tatsumi in the square or whatever. So that's the end of the episode. And I just want to mention that they brought Wild Hunt. Shura had his own private unit called Wild Hunt. That was just a bunch of generic people in hoods in the anime, but in the manga they're all their individual characters. They're all killers. And one of those killers actually, well, I'm not gonna spoil it, but yeah. So definitely check the manga out to see the craziness that is Wild Hunt. It is a very sadistic, evil team, way evil, and you'll want to see it because you'll never. That's probably why they didn't animate it, because it's just too, brutal and too graphic, mature. And yeah, and then what else could I say? Like I said, great fight with Lubbock. Great. Tatsumi's fight was meh, but I mean, at least it's a different thing than the manga. So see what happened. Yeah, and Esdeath, I don't know what they're gonna do with her in the anime. I'm assuming they're gonna keep her like they did in the manga and just make her fight everyone and not turn good or whatever. But you never know, right? Maybe they'll make her try to help Tatsumi out or something. So it's going to be all anime original here. This was the chapter 53 or 50, like the part with Tatsumi being executed and captured. That's all in like the latest chapter. So yeah, like now that that's done, like it's probably going to be all original here. So we'll see what goes on. I give the episode a good 8 out of 10 again because of Lubbock, because he's amazing, and because the fight, it's a coming out kill. It's awesome. It's an awesome show. Whether it's filler or not, it's still going to be awesome, I think, I hope. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this review. Be sure to subscribe for more coming out kill videos, and or there's only a couple more, so if you want to see a couple more, subscribe. Like the video if you liked it, and please leave comments below about anything to the episode or manga comparisons or whatever. Talk about it. Thanks, and have a great day.